Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
That's a record that deserves to be number one, okay?
That's Drake, SZA, and Sexy Red. Morning, everybody. We are the Breakfast Club. Cappuccino, our guest co-host, is here. And let's get in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy? Good morning, Cappuccino.
Good
morning. Charlamagne.
Peace, Tiz.
Let's jump right into it. Let's start off last night, NFL. The Vikings beat the 49ers 22-17.
Dropping the clues bombs for the Vikings, baby. I root for anybody who can beat the 49ers and the Eagles, all right? Because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, okay?
And also tonight, the 78th NBA regular season starts tonight. So the Lakers take on the Nuggets at 7:30. The Warriors take on the Suns at 10. So late games, West Coast games.
When is that alien playing? Is that alien playing tonight?
The Spurs.
Victor, whose last name I can't pronounce, whose last name looked like a line at the eye doctor?
No, I don't think he
everybody's
plays.
last name?
Wembanyama?
Wembanyama.
He don't play tonight?
No, I don't think he plays tonight.
Oh,
Does he
okay.
play tonight? He plays tomorrow, yeah. He's been getting busy preseason.
That man is must-see TV. Oh, that alien is must-see TV.
All right. Now let's jump right into the news. Biden, what's going on with Biden?
Yeah, yesterday he announced a project to boost the economy. He designated 31 regional innovation and technology hubs across the U.S. And this was through an initiative that he passed last year called the CHIPS and Science Act that was signed in 2022. Now, this was designed to boost the American innovation, manufacturing, and employment opportunities. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and then I'll give you some more information on the other side.
The bill created what we call tech hubs as part of the bill. A tech hub is we're going to invest in critical technologies like biotechnology, critical materials, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing. So the U.S. will lead the world again in innovation across the board.
So basically, he's investing in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Very, very important. Now, that goal is, again, to spread innovation across the country rather than having it centered just in San Francisco, New York, Boston, and Austin. So the regions selected for this hub will go throughout the entire U.S. and will include Oklahoma, Massachusetts, Colorado, Ohio, South Carolina, Washington, Alabama, and Pennsylvania. And just a quick economic update. I want to throw that in since we are talking about the economy. This is the recent update as of October 18th by the U.S. Department of Commerce. They say that there's big drivers of gains in September where car sales, online purchases, and sales at retailers. Purchases at restaurants, bars, and gas stations have went up. But although the labor force has continued to grow, expanding by 90%, it is still not growing fast enough to fill a lot of job openings. So still a lot of jobs that need to get filled. That's the economy update. I have some more on the economy in the second hour that kind of paints a different picture as a result of the strikes. But I did want you to at least, let you know what the U.S. Department of Commerce says about the economy.
You know what I would like to see with those type of investments that Biden made? I'd like to see some type of plan that shows people what types of careers will be available because of those investments and what folks can do to get in those fields. That's what I'd like to see along with those investments.
That's a great point because even when you're talking about they're trying to phase out a lot of the gas cars and do more electric battery operated cars. So I'm sure the processing of batteries, making of those cars is going to grow. So I don't even know if they have tech schools for that as of yet, but you're absolutely positively right.
Well, just so you know, to give a little more clarity on your point, Charlamagne, when it talks about jobs, this will help semiconductors, biotechnology, medicine. It also will help AI, but I guess you're saying you want to drill a little bit deeper and you know exactly what type of job.
Yeah, what type of careers are available for people?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? What field should people be going into to be able to take advantage of these investments that they're making?
Now, they are focusing on historically underserved communities as well. 75% of the hubs will be in small communities and rural areas as well.
Hey, don't bring them hubs to our communities if you ain't gonna give out no jobs, bro. That's all I'm simply saying, okay?
Right.
If you're gonna bring these hubs to our communities, don't do them for the tax breaks. Do them because you're trying to create some jobs for people as well.
That's right.
And if it is
And make sure we get access to those grants as well. They are designating some of the grants, but again, it's all about making sure we actually get it allocated to our communities and applying for those grants and all of that stuff, which people should look into, through the U.S. Department of Commerce. You said something, Cappuccino?
Yeah, if it's for the underserved communities, what will be the requirements for some of those people? Because when you think of technology, you think of colleges and, not just vocational schools. Like, what's the requirements for that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you apply for those particular grants, because this is going to a lot of nonprofits as well. So each grant will say the requirements. But again, saying you have a grant and being able to apply for it, one, knowing how to apply for it, knowing how to apply for the process. A lot of people don't know, they don't have access. I always encourage people to go to the SBA, Small Business Administration, because they walk you through that process. But again, it's still very competitive. It's still understanding your local politics. A lot of people forget about that. These are state, when this money comes through the federal government, goes down to the state. So who are your state representatives? How are you making sure you're getting access to those? Those meetings are usually meetings before the meetings. By the time it goes to the public, there's been meetings prior to that. So all of these things, is with small businesses and nonprofits how to know to get the federal funding. A lot of people apply, but again, knowing your way throughout that process, more than what I can talk about here in 2 minutes. But I do encourage people to get a part of the SBA, connect to your chambers of commerce, your African American Chamber of Commerce, your regional chamber of commerce, to help you walk through those, because what happened is they'll start to have these meetings in these town halls with these hubs and centered around that, and all of those prime contractors and subprimes, they'll be at those meetings, and you need to make those acquaintances.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Now, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Cappuccino is here, our guest co-host, and let's get in some front page news. All right, now last night the Vikings beat the 49ers 22-17.
Salute to the Vikings, man. I'm happy that y'all beat the 49ers simply because the 49ers and the Eagles are the best teams in the NFC. Okay, my Dallas Cowboys probably like the third best team in the NFC, so we need them to lose as much as possible so we can go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you guys are not going to the Super
I
Bowl.
don't think so.
That's not going to happen. Sorry. And also, NBA starts tonight, all right? The Warriors take on the Suns, Nuggets take on the Lakers. And we got to congratulate Giannis, the Greek freak. He signed a 3-year deal for $186 million.
Hey, by the way, Milwaukee, salute to y'all, but that nickname y'all got for Damian Lillard and Giannis is nasty.
What is it?
Freak time. We don't want that.
You don't want freak time?
We don't need freak time. You know what I'm saying?
But that ain't your team.
Yeah, but I don't think Milwaukee wants that either. Okay?
Freak time. Okay.
Well, Tez, let's jump right into it. More Biden talk. I know we talked about Biden last hour, so what are we talking about this hour?
Go Niners, first of all, by the way. But this is the first time, we talked about the convoy, the humanitarian supplies getting into Gaza on last week. That was the latest update. I wanted people to know that convoy did go through. The citizens did get exactly what they needed. Hamas, as far as we know right now, has not intervened with that. So the United States wanted to make sure that folks know that they remain committed to ensuring that the civilians in Gaza will continue to have access to food, water, and medical care without it being diverted from Hamas. President Biden said Saturday, we will continue to work with all parties to keep Rafah crossing in operation to enable the continued movement of aid that is imperative to the welfare of the people of Gaza. So the Palestinian citizens are getting, some help of what they need as a result of this ugly war. So I wanted to give you that update.
So question, because I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but if I'm the Biden administration, doesn't it seem like they playing both sides? Because if you're giving Israel billions of dollars for their military, right? And the military is, waging war on Gaza.
But they're giving it to civilians. They're not giving it to Hamas. They're giving it to civilians that are messed up.
But Israel, they're not just bombing Hamas.
Well, they're supposed to be just bombing
but they're
Hamas.
Not.
They're supposed to be. Remember, they sent those pamphlets out and said people get out and this, that, and the other. They're supposed to be just bombing Hamas.
But they're not, though.
I mean,
so my point is, it's like, if you're giving money to the military and the military is bombing Gaza, period, right? Hamas, innocent civilians and everybody, and then you giving the, Gazans aid. Isn't that kind of like playing both sides?
Pretty much.
If you America?
Yeah, I guess so.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's how war works. We bomb you. Well, in America, the American way, obviously, bomb you and then give you the Band-Aid, after the bomb in very simple terms. And so people who, support, as we had Dr. Mark Lamont Hill would agree with you in saying that you need to pick a side and not continue to fund this war. So they would agree with you. But again, the Israel side of it would disagree with you and say that, the United States is doing exactly, what they need to do. So I don't know, Charlamagne.
I seen they released 2 hostages as well, too. 2 women they said they released yesterday.
Right.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I'm pro innocent civilians not being killed, regardless of what side they on.
Right.
I'm pro children not being killed, regardless of what side they on.
Absolutely.
That's why I stand on it.
Now let's talk about these economic losses now. They say economic losses exceed $9.3 billion.
Yeah, as a result of United Auto Workers strike. Now, when the strike first happened, there was question on would this affect the economy? Would it just affect the automakers? And so now a consulting group has actually issued some reports on that. The United Auto Workers historic strike against Detroit's big three automakers is in its 6th week. So this has been going on 6 weeks. And according to the consulting group Anderson Economic Group, the economic losses have surpassed $9.3 billion. They are estimating these losses as of October 19th. And they said it's $488 million as a result of worker wages, 4.18 billion in worker losses, supplier wages and earnings. They're estimating that at $2.7 billion loss, and dealers, customers, and other industry loss, they estimate that at 1.86 billion. So to determine the economic impact of the strike, the group used lost wages to workers, other workers who were temporarily laid off or forced to decrease their hours. Remember, some folks that didn't even go on the strike, they also, were sent home as well. This is, again, a collective supplier loss earnings for the big three, and the dealer, customer, and auto industry loss as a whole. So now we have some data to debate on how the longer this strike goes on, the more, it can affect the economy.
Yeah, if 9.3 billion don't make them bend, then what will? God damn.
Right. So, and by the way, I know you tell people to follow me on Instagram, but really, I put a post up today. I would like to hear from you. If you are an United Auto Workers, if you have been on strike, I just put a post up. You can follow me at Tesla Figaro. I want to hear your story. I want to know, how it's affected you. What are you looking for in the big payback? How has this impacted you? I want to hear from some folks directly and put them on the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Fair Podcast Network.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Tiz.
Thank you.
Now, when we come back, let's open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. Let's talk about, this comes from Tyrese and his ex. Now, his ex, Symantha, said that the reason she left Tyrese was because her friends were in her ear. So let's talk about friends being in your ear when you're in a relationship. 800-585-1051. I guess it's, do you listen to your friends when you're in a relationship? And do you, give your friends...
You know why nobody can ever talk to you truly about your relationship?
Because they don't know everything.
They don't know everything.
Yeah.
They don't know all the
side.
intimate details of you and what your significant other is going through. They can never, ever, ever give you a proper analysis of your relationship because they don't know everything.
Right.
Bottom line, point blank, period. So you can never really listen to your friends about your relationship.
No, not at all. Not at all. Let's discuss. 800-585-1051. Do you talk to your friends about your relationship? And do you give advice to your friends? That's a question, too. I don't give advice when it comes to relationships because, like you said, you don't know the ins and outs, and you say something and then it goes the wrong way, and then what happens? Or you give advice, you tell somebody something, they mad at you, and then later they find out what you said was true.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's discuss. 800-585-1051. Do you talk to your friends about their relationship, or do you give advice to your friends about their relationship? Let's discuss this. The Breakfast Club, good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.